In this presentation, we will discuss all relevant theoretical concepts on nouns.
The aims in this presentation are to learn how to identify nouns, the types and characteristics of nouns, and how to describe nouns according to morphological criteria, that is to say the internal word properties, or distributional criteria, that is to say the position of the word in context. We are going to identify nouns and describe them. We are going to identify the different noun types and their characteristics. We are going to identify the internal properties of the nouns, that is to say the morphological criteria, and the contexts where these nouns appear in the sentence. Nouns are divided into three types. Common nouns do not refer to a particular individual within the class they belong to. They have properties common to the whole class that noun belongs to. They may denote people, animals, objects, places, qualities, substances, events, activities or results, emotional states or sensations. For instance, the noun cat designates the set of beings that are characterized as domestic mammals that belong to the family of felines. Proper nouns identify a single referent and may designate different entities, such as people, animals, places, books, clubs and other institutions, festivals and historical periods. In certain contexts, they are used with either a determiner or quantifier. For example, there are many important documents at the Library of Congress. Nouns can be countable nouns or uncountable nouns. Countable nouns can be counted, isolated, or separated. So we can have a computer, 3 students, or some people. In the case of uncountable nouns, they cannot be counted, but they can be divided. We cannot say 1 butter or 2 butters, but we can say 200 grams butter.
As stated before, there is a very important difference between countable and uncountable nouns. While countable nouns can be isolated, uncountable nouns can only be divided. So if, for instance, we take a noun like chair, we cannot divide a chair and call its remaining bits or parts chair. Only the whole object can receive that name. On the contrary, a substance like sand can be divided, and all the different isolated parts can still be called sand.
Countable nouns can have different plural forms. There are 3 types: regular nouns, irregular nouns, and invariable nouns. The plural form of regular nouns has the suffix s, es, ies, or des. The plural form of irregular nouns change the form of the word completely. And the plural and the singular form of invariable nouns are the same.
In connection to plural forms, we will see that this information is related to morphological criteria, that is, to the word's internal properties. And in relation to this description of words, it is important to know that there are 2 different types of affixes: derivational affixes and inflectional suffixes. It is important to bear in mind their differences because they encode different type of information. While derivational affixes change the word class or category or may add substantial meaning, inflectional affixes do not change the word category, but the form of the word to fit a very specific grammatical context. That is, they add grammatical information about number or gender, for instance. Now, let's have a look at some examples. If we have the verb build and we add a suffix, in this case er, we change the base, which is a verb, build, into a noun, builder. On the contrary, if we have a noun such as application and we add the suffix s, that suffix is an inflectional suffix because it adds information about number, in this case, plural number. So as you can see, while with derivational suffixes such as the suffix er, both the meaning and the word category change, in the case of inflectional affixes, that is not so because the meaning of the word stays stable and the word category does not change either, but what changes is this subtle type of information that is added. So from having only one application, we now, with the addition of the suffix s, we know that we have more than one.
Now let's see how affixes attach to nouns. In the case of entertainment, we can identify the root entertain and the suffix ment. So this suffix is a derivational suffix. Entertain is a verb and entertainment is a noun. We can say then that there is word category change. In this word, there are no inflectional suffixes. In the case of ideas, we cannot identify, or there are no derivational suffixes. Idea is the root in this word, and vs is the suffix. So this is an inflectional suffix that carries grammatical information about plural number. In the word musicians, we can identify the root music, the suffix yan, and another suffix s or s. Then we can say that yan is a derivational suffix and we have the noun music and the word musician is another noun. That is to say, there is change in the meaning of this noun. Then the suffix s is an inflectional suffix that carries grammatical information about plural number. Affixes are attached according to a particular order. Understand is a verb. Understanding has the derivational suffix ing. Misunderstanding has the derivational prefix mis. And misunderstandings has the inflectional suffix s, which carries grammatical information about plural number.
Previously, we saw the order in which affixes need to be attached to a root. What we're going to do is to observe the order in which the different types of suffixes need to be attached for a complex word to be a possible word in the language. In the case of the first one, the root place contains different affixes. We have the prefix re and two different types of suffixes, the inflectional suffix s and the derivational suffix ment. The problem in this word is that the inflectional suffix s was attached before the derivational suffix ment, and that is not a possible word in the language. On the contrary, in the word disabilities, we have different affixes attached to the root, and we have the prefix dis and two different types of suffixes, the derivational suffix t and the inflectional suffix es. In this case, the order that they follow is possible because in this context, the derivational suffix t is attached before the inflectional suffix es. So the resulting word is a possible word in the language.
So we